Hello and welcome back. So let's fix this section here. Yeah, so that we can retain the data variable. So what's going on here is that this selects a particular set of class IDs that belong to a particular user. So what I need here is to do is to just make sure that it returns only one column, which is class ID, because that's all we are interested in. Then we can put the whole thing in brackets and then use it as a search term for a different query, which in our case should be this one. So this one just goes to classes and looks for a class ID that is very specific. So this will be simple. We can just say select all from classes where class ID in, and then we'll use whatever is here. Now this should work now, and this is the query. So running the query happens over here. So I'm going to copy that and put it right here like this. Yes, but instead of this I'll send it to data directly, so that data is sent here. So let's see if things work there, and refresh, and there we go. So things are working, but still it's not working because the 2020, we're getting 2021 here. So instead of that, let's add an and at the very end. So here we just say and. So this is exactly the same thing we did here, and year, school year, like that. So let's paste that here. Now we need to give it the school year, so I will copy this the same way we are getting the school year from there, and I will add that right here. Okay, cool. That should solve the problem. And if I refresh, I get nothing. Very good. But if I go to 2021, I get some, and 2018, nothing, 2020, nothing, 2021, something. So things are now working for classes. Now let's not forget we have a search here, which alters the query in the process. So what I'll do is I'll copy this and put it here. Actually, before we do that, there are classes I own right here, which should be part of the query as well. So what I'll do is this one gets all the classes that are owned by this user, those that where the members haven't been added yet. So let's use these as well. We need these. So cut this and let's put this right above the query itself. Okay. And the result here is classes I own. If classes I own is something, then let's remove this. Oh, the problem is sometimes actually this is not sustainable, because some of these classes will be duplicated here as well, but I guess it's not a big deal. The only problem will be if there are too many classes, then the query is going to become long. So we can instead get the same query that we are doing here and add it there directly. So let me undo what I did here, cutting this out just in case we make a mistake, right? So what I want to do here is put an and statement. So and year is equal to, okay, so all this is cool, but let's put all this in a bracket, another bracket here. Okay, so in this, oh sorry, this is not gonna work at all. This is wrong. Undo the bracketing. So the class IDs should be in here up to there, and then we add that to there. But this is a whole where clause here, class ID in. So what I want to do is I want to put the whole thing in brackets like so. So the bracket starts here and all the way up to here. So just after the where clause here. This effectively makes this one part of the where clause, the whole thing. And the reason I did this is because I want to put an or on this side, so that this whole thing can be true, or this other one can be true here. So we can put another where clause like that. Now this or is for us to include those classes that have been created but don't have members. So we'll read directly from, let's see, classes I own is equal to class where user ID is equal to this here. So we do have user ID here, so we can add it to the query without having to add it here again. So this is the same as, so where that or class ID or user ID, sorry, wait a second. Where is that classes I own? Yes, user ID is equal to user ID. So we are selecting from classes where, let's look at this in an isolated way, where the user ID is equal to user ID, like this. So if the class is owned by me, if the user ID is mine, then I own that class by default. So that should read. Or if I don't own that class, I may be a member, and this is what this other part is getting. Maybe I was added by somebody else, so that's the other part here. So cool. So once we do that, we should have everything we need. Let me see if we add an extra. Yeah, so there's no extra anyway, so those are the two that I own. Okay, so that works very well, except for the search. So let's do the search as well. So I'll copy this, and before we run the query, we have to change the query in order to suit. So find, here we are looking for a very specific name. So from table, join classes on class ID. Wait, what is all this? Yeah, this seems to work just fine. The only problem is it doesn't take into account the school year. So we are selecting from classes.class, join classes on classes ID. Okay, so classes is the table. So where is the where clause? So the where clause is here, where that is equal to that, where table.userid is equal to user ID. Okay, and my table.disabled is equal to 0, and classes.class like find. Okay, so whatever we are searching for here. So this entire where clause is one part of it. So let me put up to here, bracket, like that. So the whole where clause is a single thing here. So what we need is to add the school year. So right here, and this and that. Okay, so we didn't need the brackets after all, but we can still add the and here, and let's copy the school year. Let's paste it there. But we have to tell it which table this is from. So because we are using table names here, so year classes.date is equal to school year. Okay, good. All right, so that should work. Let me try and search for second, and there I get it. Okay, cool. But the problem here is still we are not utilizing this or user ID is equal to user ID. So I'm going to copy this. Actually, this won't work. So let's leave that be for now. It means we have successfully changed this whole thing into just that up to here. Okay, so no need to make the array unique and all that. So now I can delete everything here that is muted. Okay, so same thing, we're going to go to tests.php, and in here we want to do the else part, not where there's the admin, but the other section. This is going to be easy because it's one query and one query for the search as well. So all we want to add is the and school year part. So I'm going to copy this, come here, and let's add school year, shall we? Right after user ID down here. All right, and then in the same manner, we're going to copy the and year date is good school year. Let's come back here. Okay, so right at the end, before the order, let's see, where class and in select, and then at the end and year school year. Same thing here, and year date school year. Okay, so that works. Let's see if it will change on tests. There we go. Let's see if we can still search, and there we go. Okay, so things are working. Let me try and change this to 2018. Okay, I get nothing. Let's try and search and make sure that we will get no results as well. That's good. Let's go to 2021, and if we search, we get some results. Okay, so school year is working flawlessly. That's nice. But the same thing we have to do on the to mark and marked as well. So let's go to the to mark here and do the same thing, and marked as well. So to mark is where is this? In the controller, to mark. So same process here we're going to do on both sides. So I will copy the where we are extracting school year from here to avoid typing that again. So I'll paste that here to mark, and let's get marked as well because it's the same process. So I'll put down a school year and repeat the same process down here on the else. Same thing on to mark. I'll repeat here just under user ID. I'll put that. Okay, now we deal with the query. So I'll get the and year is equal to school year here, copy. To mark here, I will do the same thing. So there's a search here, right there I will put and year is equal to school year. School ID and submitted, marked is equal to 0, and let's put another and year is equal to year. So same thing down here, there's only one query down here. The search here doesn't seem to be on, so what do we do? Right here, paste, leave a space. All right, to mark. Let's see if things will change. Nothing. Let's go to 2018, shall we? Go, and we get nothing. Okay, so 2021, go. Cool. Now let's go and do that on marked as well. So we have a query here, just before the order, let's paste. Same thing right before order, paste. Let's go down here to the else section, and there are two queries here, 1, 2. We do exactly the same thing. So right at the end, space, paste. And here again, we do the same thing right at the end, paste. But here we need to specify the column, the table, sorry, and its tests, because it all depends on the test. So tests.date is equal to school year. Okay, so marked, there we go. Let's change to 2018, nothing. 2019, nothing. 2021, something. Very nice. Now the thing is, if I change this to 2018 and go, I should lose the notification as well. Otherwise, the user will go crazy trying to find the notification, the particular year for that notification. So let's see where the notification comes from in the nav view here. And it comes from to mark. There's test model get to mark count. Okay, so let's go to the test model. In models, let's go test model, get to mark count. So in here as well, likewise, we'll check all the queries and add the and. Oops, I need to go back and copy that. So let me start with this getting of the date. Where is the test model? Okay, there it is. So let me start with right under school ID. I'll paste school year. Same under user ID, I'll paste school year as well. Then now I can copy from other places and here this part here and go back to test model. So on these two here, I'll paste that, and down here I will do likewise and paste that. Easy peasy. So let's refresh, and fatal error, call to count must be of type countable. And where is this? Test model online what? I can't clearly see. Line 142. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so return mark to mark count. So this is not a countable value. We can use the count function here and say select count, but I find that a little bit I don't know. I just, for some reason, I don't do it that way. But not to say there's something wrong with using the count, because you can say count here, count like that, and you close it in brackets like so. And this, instead of returning rows, it's going to return just a number from the returned results. But I don't know, I like to count them here personally. So here I'm just going to copy this and say if to mark like this, then we return that. Otherwise we're going to return 0. Okay, that will make sure we are error proof here. So it has returned 0. Cool. And if I change this to 2021, there's a notification. Yeah, 2018, none of that. Marked 2021, and the notification comes there. Okay, very cool. So things are working as planned. Everything has been changed to school year, and pretty awesome. So of course there will be places where the school year doesn't correspond, so it's going to be up to you to add the appropriate code here, as I have shown you how to do so. The first thing is just to make sure you have the correct year selected in your array, And then to your query, just add and year date is equal to school year, and that's it. Then it will only get items from that particular year. All right, so that does it for year, I guess. Oh, actually, we may want to do that same thing on the profiles, tests, classes, same thing here. If I change to 2018, let me go to classes, they don't disappear. So we probably need to do that as well on the profiles. So let's do that in the next video to keep the videos shorter.